I want to thank you guys for joining us again, and just remember, subscribe. The only way we get paid is if you hit that subscribe button, and it's free for you. I know you guys like free stuff. And today our business feature is looking at someone who's a very young lady who's here in Umhlanga, the Pearl. She has a beautiful art gallery, and she's going to tell us a little bit more about her business. And a very funny story. We found this. We were kind of walking around, and we said, "Oh wow, that's a beautiful. Those are some beautiful paintings." And then I was walking around, and then I saw the same name on every painting, and I looked at Brandon, who's my project manager, and I said, "I think the same person painted all of this." So we had a little chat with her, and I want to introduce you guys to Devika. Devika, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. And thanks for popping by. I mean, it's great having you guys here.
Thanks for allowing us into your home. I mean, this looks like your sanctuary. I mean, looks like where your therapy happens, your Zen happens, your yoga happens. This seems to be your safe space. Tell us a little bit more about your painting, and tell us, where did it all begin?
My art and painting itself, just being creative, started as far as 5 years old, I think.
Wow.
That's how long ago I've started artwork, and it's evolved since. And it's one of the constants in my life. So I've done lots of different things, from medical to corporate.
Wow.
But art has always been a constant, and it's a passion of mine. I've always wanted to eventually live off it, and this is it. I've set this up so I could actually exhibit my life's work and hopefully get everyone to come and appreciate art and creativity. Hi, so you like this piece?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bright, happy piece. It's done on plexiglass. It's a more modern contemporary piece. It's an abstract. So it just depends on which way you want it. You could have it vertical, or you can have it horizontal. So does it speak to you? What does it say to you?
It's a beautiful mix of lively colors.
Yeah, absolutely.
But don't, sometimes there's a
Yeah.
fear. There's a fear that too much of academic is going to ruin the rawness of who you are as a creative, And do you have those fears that the more you walk into a class and learn all of these techniques, that it's going to take away from the rawness that has brought you to where you are at the moment?
Yeah, well, that was always my fear. However, I'm rebellious in nature from the time I was a little child. So you give me rules and regulations and I'm going to try and break it.
Yeah.
So, or try to diversify from what is acceptable and what I can actually add to it.
Yeah.
So in all of my works, I've added an extra element to it that makes it a little more interesting to the viewer. So it just brings a new aspect to it. Like the previous painting, this is also mixed media pieces, both of them. They're 1.5 by 1 meter each, and it's more depicting the style and technique of wiggles and free flowing. It just shows freedom of expression. And the reason I've used the content in these paintings is to show our legacy, our culture, and of course, heritage. I mean, we all are in that era of time where we have to capture a snapshot in time. Another painting of mine's portraying legacy, heritage, and culture that I, as an artist, has been exposed to. These paintings are also 1.5 meters by a meter and done in mixed media, of keeping with modern contemporary abstract theme, and the wiggle and the scribble kind of technique that I've done in these paintings. It shows freedom of expression as well. And these paintings have been inspired. One of the reasons is I've met Archbishop Desmond Tutu, and it's also part of the journey in my life where I managed hotels, and he stayed in one of the hotels that I managed. And it was such a pleasure to meet with him, and he signed some of my paintings. An absolute gentleman to have met. So I feel very, very privileged to have met these icons in my time.
when someone looks at a piece of work, they think, "Oh, I could do that." I mean, I mean, it's a perception. Oh, so I could get some paint, and I could, But they don't understand the intricate nature of creating that sort of artwork or that art form and what goes into it. Because every time you do a painting, you leave a piece of yourself in it, right?
Absolutely. So an artist's signature is leaving a piece of themselves in it. Either from the influences they've had during their life's journey, or maybe a special technique or skill that they've adapted over the years and they apply it to most of their paintings. So that's basically what I've done as well. It was a little bit of a journey for me because I couldn't quite find my style. I was like fitting into the norms of the groups that are joined or whatever just to be similar and fitting in. But I realized that as an artist, you can't fit in. You need to actually stand out. I have this affiliation to Madiba because I met him in 2006. And we discussed that before. I mean, meeting him was the highlight of my life. So I tend to keep painting Mandela, but I was hoping to portray him in a more modern contemporary style, using abstract, and more with the times. Being an interior designer, I also need to do pieces that are going to fit in. I need to sell art. So this piece is inspired by a legend, somebody who's left a legacy behind. This piece is called After the Anarchy, and it's inspired by the looting and the rioting that's happened recently in 2021, July. And it was 2 weeks of absolute terror for all those living in and around the areas that were looted. And every day I would come into the studio and put in a word that expressed how I felt, because I was literally in the middle of everything. And my experience with the terror that was happening inspired me to put it down on canvas. So the graffiti that I've used is to show the way people have felt. Graffiti is generally used on walls and to defy the norm of expressing yourself. So I've used that in that way to show what has happened, showing that we need peace after the anarchy, showing that we need justice for all, because we found that all the different races were fighting against each other or getting to a point of fighting against each other. And eventually we find that these all the race groups come together and rebuild what was destroyed. In the painting, we also see that the hands, which portrays that kind of rebuilding, as well as the hands that have got numbers on them. The numbers portray the fact that we are but a number when it comes to a time of anarchy. People are doing a countdown instead of looking at lives individually, that there's life that's being lost. So the value of life has become immaterial at that point. Also the fact that I've used a stencil to show the alphabets and numbers. So knowing your alphabets and numbers also says that, knowing those kind of things doesn't mean that you're educated. So education is key when it comes to things of plundering and destroying your infrastructure. And I tried to use this platform to show that destroying your infrastructure is not the be-all and end-all of things. It's a way of rebellion. It could be done in other ways instead of destroying your infrastructure. Birds, flowers, butterflies, it just shows we need peace, we need cohesion, we need social cohesion and save what we have and build on what we have, and the coming together of all our races. The colors that I've used as well show the different race groups. The white race group is projected in black. The black race group is projected in color. So the color of your skin doesn't really matter. And the fact that Indians are always caught up in the middle, which is, a sad thing to say. I mean, but it just shows all races coming together. It doesn't matter what the color of your skin is, but we need to save what we've got and save each other. guys, thank you so much for visiting with me at Define Art Gallery. I'm Devika, the artist. I hope you enjoyed the demonstration. To get into contact with me to buy one of my pieces, it's 082-653396. I also do art therapy classes, which is Unleash Your Potential, which is an amazing way to get rid of stress and get away from your mundane job and just be creative. So come visit with me. If you do decide to invest in a piece, please quote BAM01 and you'll get a special discount. So I'm looking forward to seeing you and maybe having a cup of coffee with you. Come to Define Art Gallery. See you soon.